So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today we have Action Comics 256, published in September 1959 with story by Otto Binder and art by Curt Swan. And this one is called The Superman of the Future. Don't let my looks shock you, Lois. I am not the inferior Superman you know. I am the Ultra Superman from the year 100,000. So there he is, the Ultra Superman. What would Superman look like if he lived in the future year of 100,000 AD? By a twist of fate, the world finds out one day and sees the remarkable way evolution has changed the Man of Steel when he becomes the Superman of the future. Folks, you are viewing the Superman of the future. Evolution has changed him shockingly. He has a larger brain. He has long, slender fingers. This is not the Superman we know. So Superman is going to be doing an experiment for this scientist who has created a time machine, which Superman doesn't really need. But I am sending you into the year 100,000, Superman. If all goes well, I'll bring you back in an hour. You are now fading from sight, leaving the 20th century. And so this scientist shows how man has changed over the years from evolution. And what will he look like in 100,000 years? Goodness, you seem changed, Superman. Why, you look like a future man. I am, Miss Lane. The Superman you know decided to stay in the year 100,000 AD for 24 hours. I came back in his place to keep the time route open. I am the Superman of the future. Well, look at that. So he shows a mental image of what the future looks like, but he has come back to prevent four disasters. I come back through time to warn you of four disasters that are fated to occur here on Earth in the next 24 hours. The Bay Bridge, that ship, and that undersea dome built by a movie company will all be destroyed. So he doesn't want to tell them what the fourth disaster is. Oh, I'm sorry. This guy up here says, I'm Dirk Folger, European correspondent of the World News Press. Does your enlarged brain mean that you have even greater mental powers than the 1959 Superman? Yes, I have a new power that I would demonstrate. And that's when he shows the future. So he goes out there to prevent the disaster of the Bay Bridge. Look, Superman, a tornado will wreck that bridge. So that's it. Luckily, I warned all traffic off before. So apparently in the future, they didn't know all the details. But he's going to prevent it. So he drives this giant windmill into the ground to push the tornado away, but causes an earthquake because of smashing it into the ground. It's uncanny, Miss Lane. Is it impossible for even Superman to change destiny? Maybe it was only sheer bad luck, Folger. We'll follow the Ultra Superman and see if he can prevent the second disaster. So in this case, the U.S. Navy is making a nuclear test here. That bomber taking off from a flat top is going to drop its atom bomb on a small uninhabited island. But how will disaster occur? So they accidentally release the bomb too soon. It's going to hit a dredging boat. But Superman goes down to stop it. Unfortunately, the ship at that moment dredges up a large chunk of kryptonite. So Superman has to get some distance, and he flings this rock, this boulder at the atom bomb, but because of friction, it just melts before it reaches the atom bomb, and the atom bomb blows up the ship. The ship was wrecked, just as was recorded in the history books of this future. Even the Ultra Superman can't outwit fate. Maybe it was just a series of coincidences that I wasn't able to prevent those disasters. The third catastrophe is supposed to destroy an undersea dome that was built by a movie company. Let's see if I can prevent that one. So he goes underwater and sees a whale that is going towards the dome. This dome city is unoccupied, but I guess he doesn't want it destroyed. But the Ultra Superman is forcing the whale to turn in time. But as the whale is moved, it creates a bit of a wave undersea, moves the ship, and look out, Miss Lane, you're bumping into the button that fires our torpedoes. And the torpedo is launched and destroys the underwater city. The torpedo is wrecking the dome. History came true for the third time. Oh, Superman, fate played another trick on you, making me the cause of the dome's destruction despite your best efforts. Don't blame yourself, Miss Lane. It just shows that history can't be changed. I'm sure of that now. And the fourth thing that he needs to prevent And that means I can't stop the fourth super disaster. I'm using my mental image now to show you why it's the worst before nightfall. The President of the United States will be assassinated. How shocking. But can't you warn the Secret Service to guard the President carefully? What good would it do, Folger? If I couldn't prevent the 3 previous disasters, I'm afraid history will come true again. I'm helpless to change fate. But Folger, nobody suspects I'm only posing as a foreign reporter. I'm really a member of the secret spy ring, plotting against the president's life. Now I know we'll succeed, haha. And he looks at the reader. I guess maybe he's speaking to us. So he tells his crew, let's go ahead with the assassination because it can't be stopped. So they plant a bomb in a manhole and blow up the car with the president in it. Wait, look, somebody's stepping out of the wreck live. It's the Ultra Superman. Yes, Folger, or Agent X3. I took the president's place before my chauffeur was only a dummy in the car under remote control. So he removes his fake skull. The Ultra Superman never existed, Folger. The blast tore the plastic long fingered gloves I wore, and now I'll peel off the false bulge in my head. So this was a whole plan. He knew that Folger was a spy trying to assassinate the president and wanted to convince Folger to go through with his plan. This is classic Silver Age. This incredibly complicated plan, including this projector in his false head. Each one of these disasters was manufactured by Superman. The kryptonite was fake. He was going to rebuild that bridge. I guess he legitimately destroyed it. And the thing with Lois Lane, apparently that was actually an accident. The ship captain was the one who was supposed to press the button, but it worked out in the end. And then I took the president's place for the rest of the day. We'll make you up to look like a double of this president, Superman. We don't know just how or when the spies will strike, but no matter what they try, it'll be me they attack. So we'll make you look like the president, but then put your bald cranium and fingers on, okay? Meanwhile, the president stayed safely in the White House while I took his place. Now the Secret Service can convict you for attempted assassination. We were fooled by your super hoax. So there's the president in shadows. The threat to my life no longer hangs over me, thanks to you, Superman. I was only doing my duty, sir, like any good citizen. Just think, Clark, by pressing that torpedo button, I actually helped Superman finish his secret plan. Calm down, Lois. You wouldn't look good with a swelled head like the Ultra Superman. I think he could have just stopped with the swelled head. I think the reader could have filled in the gaps and the joke. I like this story. It is so classic Silver Age. That is a great cover. This is the kind of cover where people will see it in a comic shop and be like, all right, I got to know what that story is. So it's silly, lots of plot holes, but it's fun. So that is the Superman of the future.